Squirted water all over these guys behind him. Let him in! Let him into the box! Whoa! Watch the lawsuit, Ty. Watch the lawsuit. It's hard to breathe with your heart in your mouth.
Is this the Tiger?
I don't believe what I just saw.
Touch a ball, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
I will never forget watching that game on TV and thinking, what just happened?
I thought it was like a WWF wrestling match or something like that.
You never anticipate a fan breaking into the penalty box and getting filled.
Ty Domi was as tough as they come. He'd fight anybody, anywhere, any place, anytime. And on this night, he was in the penalty box.
So one night in Philadelphia, Domi and Luke Richardson are just about to square off with the linesmen. Oh, they get in there in a hurry. So what happens when the linesmen get in a hurry? Things tend to boil over. So Domi and Luke Richardson, they're yapping as they go in the box.
When Ty Domi went to the penalty box, you could tell he was really agitated. And the Philadelphia fans did what they do best. They started to agitate. They started to get after him. They started to verbally abuse him.
I'm kind of watching it and getting a kick out of it. Ty squirts a guy with water. The guy's being a little bit overzealous. And I thought for a second, oh, this is a big guy. And when he's leaning over.
You know when you go to the zoo and there's always that one guy that's banging on the glass of usually the most dangerous animal in the zoo. And maybe you say to yourself, I wonder what would happen if that glass broke. That's what I thought of when I saw Chris Falcone fall into the penalty box with Ty Domi.
Let him into the box! Whoa! Watch the lawsuit, Ty. Watch the lawsuit.
Oh, boy. The glass gave way, and that rather rotund Philadelphian went, surprisingly, to himself, I'm sure, into the penalty box.
When I saw that Philadelphia fan bust through the glass and fall on Ty Domi's lap, all I could think of at that moment in time was, boy, I'll bet you he didn't think that was going to happen.
I was a kid when this happened. I wasn't thinking anything too deep. I was just like, oh, this is amazing.
It's still one of the craziest things I think I have ever seen happen in a hockey game.
You went to the hockey game and then what happened?
Hey, how do you enjoy the game, big fella? You thought that clash was protecting you. You bonehead.
I am not the least bit surprised that Ty started going after the guy. I mean, he basically fell on top of him.
When something happens that fast and there's all of a sudden somebody in your face, I mean, you just react. And that was the reaction for Ty.
That had to be like the hockey equivalent of flipping someone off in traffic and then pulling up next to them at a red light. Except it's not someone on the road, it's Ty Domi, and he's punching you in the face.
He's going to have to go into a little more of a training session before he gets into that. Oh, brother.
I give a lot of credit to Domi. I think he contained himself. Kevin Collins, the linesman, who was always quick to enter a fray, this time that was a good thing. He pretty much saved that fan. Well, a lot of damage.
It was just one or two shots, and that was it. It could have definitely been a lot worse.
I bet Chris was probably thinking, well, I'm here. I better do something. It's my barn. My fans are here. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Flyer guy. I can't just turtle in front of all of my buddies. Plus, I'm in a fight for my life.
He was probably thinking, I'm in deep trouble. He was probably thinking, I wish I had an engineering degree so I would understand that the 2.5 feet of plexiglass would not support a man of my girth.
Here he comes. Hard to breathe with your heart in your mouth.
Ty Domi was fined $1,000. Not really a big deal. Did he deserve the fine? Sure. He squirted water on the dude.
Domi played in the NHL for how many years, and he got fined $1,000? That's like going to brunch.
They're going to need a forklift to get him back in the seats.
I'd give him the fork, all right. Never mind the lift.
They've given him 10 in the game. I guess he has to stay there. Now he's coming. Well, it's not like the Leafs and Flyers not to have been into a situation that prompted fans to get involved over the years, is it?
If you had asked me, is there one place that this could happen, that a fan could fall into a penalty box against a Leaf player, someone especially like Ty Domi, my first three guesses would be Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Philadelphia.
It is somehow appropriate that this incident happened in Philadelphia, a place whose sports fans are known for their passion, I guess we could say. I mean, let's not forget, this is the place that once booed Santa Claus.
In the realm of sports, there exists a breed of fervent devotees who take their passion for their teams to extraordinary heights. These die-hard sports fans are more than just spectators. They are an embodiment of unyielding loyalty and boundless enthusiasm. From painting their bodies in team colors to traveling thousands of miles to catch a single game, the lengths to which these aficionados go are nothing short of astonishing. This unwavering dedication transcends the bounds of reason, leading them to partake in a myriad of wild and unconventional rituals, all in the name of supporting their beloved teams. Whether it's camping out for days to secure coveted tickets, braving extreme weather conditions, or adorning themselves in outlandish costumes, these passionate individuals remind us that the world of sports is not merely a game, it's a tapestry of emotions, woven by the unwavering commitment of those who live and breathe for the triumphs and defeats of their teams. Amidst the roaring crowds and flashing stadium lights, a distinct breed of sports enthusiasts emerges, setting new standards for unwavering dedication. These die-hard sports fans not only cheer from the sidelines, but dive headfirst into a world where passion knows no limits. From enduring days-long queues to secure precious tickets to engaging in heated physical altercations with rival supporters, their commitment reaches unmatched levels. Beyond the battles on the field, these aficionados also traverse the realms of luxury, curating collections of exorbitantly priced paraphernalia that bear witness to their devotion. As the curtain rises on this captivating saga, their actions remind us that the realm of sports is a canvas painted with the vivid hues of unyielding loyalty and fervor.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Speak Your Mind. We're here live to give you the very best when it comes to topics like this, and we're not here alone, but we're here with Mrs. Audrey. Miss Audrey, how are you doing tonight?
Good evening, Pastor. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us again.
You can start off by sounding off in our question for today, especially for you die-hard sports fans. How far would you go for your team? Do you think there's a limit? Do you think certain people pass that limit? You can call us right now if you want, 877-785-8700. Or if you want, you can send us a message through WhatsApp, 437-233, if I'm not mistaken, 9815. You can do so to the numbers that are down below. Ms. Audrey, we have a survey tonight, correct?
We do. As always, we have the poll that you can actually scan the QR code here as it appears on your screen and be able to vote on the following. Diehard fans of sports, as we said, how far would you go for your team? Above and beyond for your team, or is it just a game? Let us know, because we will be announcing the results during our program. So stay tuned.
And I think we have a phone call. Let us connect right now with Moses, if I'm not mistaken. Moses, do you hear me?
Yes, sir, Pastor. How are you?
How are you doing, Moses?
I'm doing fine, Pastor.
We're asking everybody the following questions about sports fans. How far would they go for their team? Have you ever heard of a case of sports fans going above and beyond for their team?
Oh, yes, Pastor. My family itself is a very diehard sports fan. They have done some pretty crazy things.
Oh, yeah? If you have any stories to share with us?
I have one story that I can remember right now. That it was, we will go to every game, and every game there was the normal viewers session, and then there was the diehard fans session.
So in these soccer games, there's two sections.
Oh, yes. Depending on the games you go to, soccer, whether it is baseball, whether it is, there's still that one session in those important games that it's the diehard fans section.
Now, when you were at those games, Moses, what would you see?
So I would sit in in the beginning, I will always sit in the normal one, the normal viewer. But since all my family will go to the diehard ones, I decided to go once there, and boy, was it a mess.
Why do you say that?
So the thing is that when the team scored, I didn't really know, but they would go up and down the stairs, and there was a lot of them. And one time I didn't know, so they ran me over, and if it wasn't because my family grabbed me, they would have just stepped over me just for a goal, just to celebrate a goal.
Now, Moses, you seeing that in your own family, what do you think about that? Do you think they're passing the limit? Do you think they're taking it too serious? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, everybody should have a passion when it comes to sports. You know, if you don't have that competitiveness inside of you, then I think that is not really a fun thing to watch for your team. But there also has to be a limit, you know, where I've had cases of friends who have died because they were from one team and then they saw the other team's fan and they killed them. So I think that there is a limit that has to be passed, you know, when it comes to like physical aggression and stuff like that. No problem you having a competitiveness inside of you, but there comes a limit where your life is more important than just a game, you know?
Moses, thank you so much for speaking your mind with us. Have a good night, okay?
Have a good night, Pastor. You too.
You can join in our conversation, 877-785-8700. Mrs. Audrey, he said that it even got to a point where they scored a goal, and I think he almost got ran over because they scored.
Yeah, it's so crazy because we even have a comment that actually relates to this, where this person actually says, my family has always been into sports. We have many great memories going to stadiums to cheer on for our team, whether they win or lose. We feel as if they are part of our family. We even sent a wedding invitation to our favorite team. Although they did not attend, but we did receive a heartfelt letter and best wishes. We have another person that actually says like this, I think it's great to support teams, but becoming a super fan is a little too extreme. I vote it's just a game.
And you can continue calling us. You can continue sending us a message in this moment through our WhatsApp. It's right there on the bottom, 437-233-9815. Moses was speaking to us what happened when his family scored a goal. In other words, they were feeling happy. They were at the most euphoric moment they could possibly be in. Now, what do you think happens to those fans who get angry and have meltdowns? Let's pay attention to this clip and we'll be right back.
Oğlum elektrik var. Duman çıkıyor. Çıkartın.
I'm not gonna lie, I've always wanted to break a TV like that. I always have. I've never done it, but I've always wanted to. I told you guys. Right, can you see it? Oh, you just missed it. Right here, when I was playing Call of Duty, I told you guys another video game. It's right here. I don't know if it's in the frame. Oh, you probably can't see it. Right here, there's like a little hole. Not a hole, but it's like a slight indent. And it's from when I punched the wall when I was mad playing video games. But I've never broken a TV, surprisingly, which I'm actually I'm proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie.
It's an interception! Why? Why? No! It's over! No! That biggest deal. We're gonna have Garrett. Gosh, Garrett, are you serious? It's not my fault. You seriously just break the table. It's not my fault. That was my grandma's table. It's not my fault. They freaking suck at everything. You break the table. Interception.
Garrett, come on, man. What are you doing?
How, Garrett? It's not my fault.
I feel like this might have been the Eagles-Vikings game in the NFC Championship when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl in 2017 and then beat Tom Brady and the Patriots with a backup quarterback. Excuse me, what? Just wanted to clarify because they did throw a lot of Super Bowls. They destroyed the Vikings in Minnesota. Go Eagles, that's all I'm going to say. Shocker. Shocker. Serious. What's the matter with this guy? What's the matter with you? He threw a MacBook? Forget the TV. TV costs what, $250, $300? That computer he threw? That's like $2,000. You could buy 10 of those TVs with one computer. And he's throwing all of it.
What is going on here, man? Get on with the win the game.
Touchdown.
What the hell?
Touchdown.
Dude, chill out!
No way. He's not done.
Damn you, Captain! Damn you, Captain!
Is it like an American thing? Because I feel like no one I know in Canada has ever done this. But I have a lot of family in America. I'm sorry, I don't visit you guys very often. But I have a lot of family in America. Maybe this is what they do when they watch football games and the Eagles lose. No, when the Eagles won, they like burnt down the whole city when they won the Super Bowl. So imagine what happens when they lose.
Are you fucking kidding me in the Super Bowl? Are you fucking kidding me? We're going to run you motherfuckers right now!
What happened? This was the 49ers. I remember this one. This was the 49ers Ravens game. I'm not sure what happened, but I remember watching that one. I think Coldplay headlined it. Was that? No. Coldplay headlined one at Levi Stadium. That was the Seattle Super Bowl. Either way, good times.
Peyton, what the f*** are you doing, man? Here, you know what? Throw it to number 50 on the f***ing Seahawks team, because that's what you're gonna f***ing do.
Okay.
Seriously,
Yeah.
man, this is really annoying.
Yeah.
The whole f***ing game, they're 36 points ahead. There's 1 minute, almost less than, equivalent to 1 minute left in the third f***ing quarter. There's no way they're gonna make 36 points in the fourth f***ing quarter. I don't give a damn how good Peyton Manning is. He's playing like he's a f***ing 12-year-old.
She went in. Sometimes you got to just go in on your quarterback. Little harsh because Manning is one of the greatest of all time, and maybe he's just having a bad game. But that's okay. You still got to go in.
You do not throw a pass at the goal line when you have Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, he's a Seahawks fan.
That's the game!
Some fans go really, really hard for their teams. We have a comment here. Well, more of a story, no? About certain sports fans. It goes like this. A soccer fan, Mauricio, it's no joke when he comes to having his favorite team from the Brazilian sports club in Rio de Janeiro called Flamengos. So he wanted to show his support to the extent that he got a tattoo covering 40% of his body. He has a full-size jersey tattooed across the front and back up of his upper body to resemble the red and black stripes of his favorite team's uniform. Ms. Audrey, do you have any comments?
We do, Pastor. Someone that even says like this, my brother is a diehard fan. I have seen him throw a tantrum when it comes to his team losing. It's funny and amusing to me. I just tell him, relax, it's just a game, bro. And we have someone else that also says like this, there are some diehard fans who do anything for their team. I think it isn't a problem. However, I do think there should be a limit. Some people get a little carried away. Pastor, I'd also like to remind our viewers that we have our Telegram poll that they can go ahead and scan the QR code to go ahead and tell us their opinion, can vote on the subject of how far would you go for your team, and is there a limit above and beyond for your team, or is it just a game to you? Let us know what you think, and we'll tell the results during our show.
And I think we have another caller. Let's see if we can connect him now. If I'm not mistaken, I think his name is Edgar. Edgar, do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
How you doing, Edgar? Good evening.
I'm doing great, and you, sir?
Good. Edgar, we're asking everybody the following question about sports teams. Now, I'm pretty sure that you are a sports fanatic, but do you think there are any cases of people who ever get carried away? Do you think there's a limit, or how far do you think people go for their teams?
Well, honestly, I feel like most of the time it's not just about a team, it's about a player. For example, I remember for this past World Cup, everyone was going crazy over Cristiano Ronaldo losing to Morocco, and then a little girl she said, "Oh, poor Ronaldo," and started crying, and a lot of people were bashing the little girl over Cristiano Ronaldo. It was like, he's a great player, but they were bashing the little girl over just a comment that she said, and the little girl was 9 years old. Like the whole world was going crazy all over Twitter, Instagram. It was just a funny thing.
You have people, Edgar, who, for example, I read a case of Mauricio. He tattooed his soccer team to his body. 40% of his body now is a tattooed uniform. What do you think about that? What's your mind on that? People who go super hard for their sports teams.
I don't know. I feel like that sounds a little crazy. Like your whole body just for a team. I mean, to me, just buying a shirt or buying a flag of the team and hanging it on your wall is good enough. Or even in your car, you can hang the flag in your car is good enough. But a tattoo is kind of crazy.
Now, are you a sports fan, Edgar?
Yes, I am.
What sport is the one that you're attracted to the most?
The most would have to be soccer.
And your go-to team?
Real Madrid.
League, international, which one?
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. How far would you go for that team?
Oh, I'll say pretty far, but not super beyond.
Okay, I got it now. So you think people should have a balance? You think it's really not that serious? Just get a jersey, hang up your flag, and that's it.
I think that's perfect. Or like you can even like wear the flag when you play a game, like when it's game day for them. But after that, I don't think you should get a whole tattoo to cover your whole body. 40% of your body's crazy. In my opinion.
Would you ever think about getting Real Madrid tattooed on your body?
No.
Edgar, thank you so much for speaking your mind with us. Have a good night, okay?
Thank you. You too.
785. You can call us right now. If I'm not mistaken, it's the number. Let's see if we put the number on the screen. Through WhatsApp, you can call us 437-233-9815 or 877-785-8700. All right, Ms. Audrey, you have people. Edgar said he was not willing to tattoo his body. Do we have any more comments?
We do. Someone that says like this, some super fans are just too much. It's all emotion. What about a player, a specific player that they like to watch on that team, but they change to a different team? What happens then? Do they still vote for that team? Comes into question, right? Does that depend on a specific player, or is it the team in general? Another person also says like this, I believe there is a different type of fans according to the sports they root for and where they come from. For example, back home, many people are known to love the sports of soccer. The soccer team that they have, they love it, and it's passed on from generation to generation. It's a sense of pride and representation for our country and culture.
And you can keep sending us your message. At the end, we're going to be reading the results of our poll tonight. And we want to go to the streets now. We want to see what people in the heart of Toronto said about this topic. I want you to pay attention, and we'll be right back.
I'm a fan of sports fans. When they're happy, that's great, but I don't care about sports.
Like, I love sports. I will support any kind of sport, any team. I love the Maple Leafs. I love Raptors. I love Argos. I go to all the games. So we have fans. We have super fans. We have diehard fans. And we have fans. And I think that we should all be fans of a team. Don't take it too far. Just enough so that you can support your team and be a part of the team, the players, support them 100%, but don't take it overboard. There's a line to draw. And to me, if you stay over this line and be a really good fan, a great fan, everybody loves you. You're going to love the game. You're going to enjoy the game more.
Well, I love that for anyone who really enjoys. I think it's great to be part of like a team spirit, to see people coming together in stadiums. It's always nice to watch. I think when I see videos, I think of people like maybe doing vandalism, like getting overexcited, destroying property if their team won or lost, then obviously I think that takes it too far.
They're wasting a lot of time on distraction. There's so many things going on right now. I used to be a sports fan, but I don't really have much time for it now. I'm trying to keep up on things. As far as fanatics go, yes. Most of my friends are sports fanatics, yeah. They get emotional when when they lose, yeah.
I defend my team, but I don't try to put too much of an emotional mindset into it, because when you put too much emotion into stuff like that, then you lose. Your emotion get away, then you do stupid, depends. So yeah, I love sports, but I don't try to go. I try to further my mind into more lucrative ventures,
When it comes to NFL, I look for the Patriots. I'm a Tom Brady fan. I think it affects them because I think their team represents like where they're from, like maybe their nationality, and so it's almost like.
So we are back. There was a little technical problem, but that is absolutely no problem. You can keep calling us. You can scan the QR code right now if you want, and you can join our poll. Mrs. Audrey, do we have any more comments regarding our topic?
Yes, we do have someone that says like this. In my opinion, I would love to go above and beyond for my team if I could. It can get pretty costly spending money on tickets to go see them in person. I would like to be a super fan, but reality check, I have a family to support, so I settle for cheering for my family, for my team at home on my couch.
I have another case of somebody who was a diehard fan. So it goes like this. I don't know how to read this name for the fact that it's from a Turkish league. So it looks like it says Denizli Spor FC of Turkey handed a 1-year ban on a certain supporter. To go around the ban, the fan created a crane outside the stadium with a sky view of the arena. His club that faces relegation ended up beating the other team 5-0, and well, when the door closes, the sky's open. So he was so dedicated to his team in the Turkish league that he built a crane just so that he can watch his team play. I don't know any teams in Turkey. I'm not going to lie to you, but if you are that dedicated, then we commend you on your creativity. I want to see and show you guys what happens when that anger starts turning into violence. People even start fighting. But before, I think I have with me on the phone Israel. Hello, Israel. Do you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you.
So we're asking everybody the following question about sports. How far would you go for your team?
Well, I have done some things already. Everything that like they have like supporting them by far, having like a monthly support, going in every single game that they played at home. I've done some like waking up when I moved away from my country, waking up 5 a.m. Sunday just to watch a game, and you know, when my team loses, sometimes I just don't, you know, I can't even sleep properly because I get very upset. So I have done some things already.
No, it's real. What do you say then to those people who say, why do you take it so serious? It's just a game. And it's a game that doesn't even include you.
Yeah, but like when I'm, you know, when I'm there in the stadium as a fan, chanting, singing, supporting the team, it feels like we are part of it. When we, you know, when we are supporting them by far with buying the jerseys, buying the whatever they do, we're helping them building, you know, a structure to win the leagues, to win the championship. So it's something that since I was a kid, I learned, and you know, it's part of my life.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, I asked the last person, Edgar, what his favorite team was. What's your favorite team?
It's Flamengo from Brazil.
Flamengo. I read a case about a certain person who tattooed his body a Flamengo's jersey.
Yeah, I know that guy. I have seen him. I met him in the stadium. Yeah.
It's real. So you can tell us that this is real. You've seen this gentleman.
Yeah. It's real. Yeah. He tattooed it. When he takes his shirt off, it seems like he's wearing the jersey, you know, because it's real.
Israel, how far would you go for your team? Are you willing to get a tattoo also?
No. That I wouldn't do a tattoo, but basically everything else.
Everything else, not a tattoo. Got it. Israel, thank you so much for speaking your mind with us. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
In what world, Miss Audrey, would I have ever thought that Mauricio, being a Flamingos fan, was going to be connected with Israel, who is also a Flamingos fan?
Right. And a lot of people, they have these fans, and I think that's what actually brings them close together, right? Is that, you know, they cheer on for the same team, as we notice that a lot of people support and believe that it's part of, you know, they're the part of the family. And so we even see that it comes from generation to generation, right? So it's a tradition. It's a different way that we have seen here on the show that people are presenting it.
And we want to go back to what we were saying earlier. What happens when those angry fans turn violent? Let's see. And there are some fans who go above and beyond for their team. I think we have Jonathan connected online. Jonathan, do you hear me?
Yes. What's up, Pastor?
How you doing, Jonathan? Good evening.
Everything's good, Pastor.
We're asking everybody the following question about fans in sports. How far are you willing to go for your team? Do you think sometimes people go way too hard for their sports teams?
Oh, for sure, Pastor. There's a bunch of people that will do crazy stuff. Like from the past World Cup, I remember someone sold their house just to get tickets just for the stage rounds. And just to see the team lose in the stage round and just to go home is just crazy.
Do you know what team it was that lost?
I think it was Brazil. No, I think it was Brazil that they didn't pass the stage round.
Now, I ask you, Jonathan, are you a sports fan?
Of course, Pastor. I'm probably like the biggest sports fan out here.
If it's basketball, soccer, what's your favorite? What's your sport and what's your team?
Well, my main sport is basketball, and my favorite team is the Knicks.
The Knicks from New York.
Yeah.
And how far are you willing to go to see them win, to see them go forward?
I mean, everyone has their limits, Pastor, but the suffering that New York fans have seen the Knicks fail year after year after year. I mean, there's limits, but it would be nice to see them win, you know, at least a chip in the next couple years.
I understand. Jonathan, thank you so much for speaking your mind with us, okay?
All right, thanks, Pastor. Have a good one.
Have a good night. I have more people here who are sending us comments of Chrisania. She goes like this: I think it's okay to do big things for a team you support. Nothing is wrong with that, especially with sports like soccer, where it's a matter of pride for your country. And in the World Cup, just like anything else in the world, though, you have to be careful because you can become addicted to anything to a point where you treat it as an idol. And, well, that's the problem. Ms. Audrey, do we have anything there?
We have, one more comment that actually says like this. I'm not a fan of a specific team. However, I think it's great for people to support their players and the team. Everyone should have something they can relate to, and sports can be a great example to follow of dedication and hard work. Pastor, I'd also like to conclude the poll that we have where it reads like this. The following is 28% say above and beyond for their team, and others 72% that say it's just a game. So there we have it, the final results for tonight.
I think Israel is somebody who voted for above and beyond for my team. And I have another comment from Gabriel. He said the person likes the sport and cheers for it. I don't see the problem. But when it crosses the limit, that is, it starts to be aggressive, starts to exaggerate, or even in attitude. Because of that, for me, it's not cool. And then he hashtags Corinthians. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that is the team in the Brazilian soccer league, Corinthians, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we have another phone call. Let's see if we can connect. I don't know if we do. If we don't, then it's fine. But we want you to keep calling us, to keep sending us your opinions, 877-785-8700. I think we have Chris connected. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. Chris, we're asking everybody the following question about their sports team. How far are they willing to go, whether it be sports, whether it be another type of sport? Do you think certain people go above and beyond for their sports team? Do you think that's a problem? You think there should be a limit?
Well, me personally, I'm a fan myself to sports that I like. I like soccer and I like MMA. Personally, I don't think that sports fans go too far. I mean, there's something they're passionate about, something that they love to do, something that they, drives them. And besides work and, if they have some sort of like Christian beliefs or anything, I mean, I'm sure there's something that they're passionate about, and whatever like leads them to become fans or dedicated to watching them and following and whatever they do. I mean, I support that 100% because I myself am a fan.
Chris, there was a gentleman who said the following, that he wasn't crazy enough to get a tattoo, but he was willing to do anything else but get a tattoo for his team.
I think I agree with him too. I'm not down to get a tattoo for a team and anything, but that's just because of my beliefs. But other than that, I mean, if I was pretty crazy, I think I probably would too, actually. So I don't know.
Now, in terms of soccer, what was your favorite team, league?
So in terms of soccer, I watch European soccer. I love European soccer, inclusive. We don't even call it soccer; we call it football. And in my personal opinion, I like the Premier League. I like Manchester United. That's my team. I grew up watching them when I would watch Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Ruud van Nistelrooy, the real legends of Man United. That's when I fell in love with that team.
And in terms of MMA, because I heard you spoke about MMA.
Okay, when it comes to MMA, I'm gonna just start ranting, so I'm not even gonna get into it. I like. I'll name you three of my favorite fighters. I like John Jones. John Jones to me is the greatest MMA fighter of all time. He's very dynamic. He knows how to fight in every single possible martial arts. When it comes to jiu-jitsu, striking, boxing, anything, he could do it. I also like Robert Whittaker. I like Max Holloway. These are some of my favorite fighters that I enjoy watching, and I watch them every single Saturday. I've never missed a fight night, and I will never miss a pay-per-view.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris, for speaking your mind with us. Thank you for letting us know your favorite MMA fighters. We wish them all the best luck and that you don't get too crazy.
For sure.
Have a good one. In terms of you liking your sports, we're not saying that you liking your team, you liking somebody in specific is a problem, because sometimes there are good things. One of the things that Chris said, that he's been watching a certain soccer team ever since he was a little kid, and that's what made him fall in love with the game of soccer. Just like certain people who they collect their teams, whether it be a jersey, whether it be a ball, whether it be a bat, whatever the case may be. We want you to pay attention to our following segment about people who collect team memorabilia. We'll be right back.
Hey, Chris, you are absolutely right. And what started as a fun catchphrase, it was always the Jags, has kind of turned into the driving force behind the team's miraculous run to the AFC divisional round. And of course, the man that has been behind the phrase, Jaguar safety Andrew Wingard, he's become sort of this superhero among the fan base, but more so to one local Jags superfan in Jacksonville. When in Vegas, toss a small bet on your team. You never know.
With the beginning of the way this season started, nobody saw this coming either. I put that bet in, but I didn't expect it to ever pay off.
9 months after betting the Jags to win the AFC South, Jeff Graham stares at his living room to relive the memories.
I'm unbelievably thankful to have those in my living room.
Graham has safety Andrew Wingard's game-worn cleats, the ones he wore when he coined the phrase, "It was always the Jags."
When I'm in Vegas, for March Madness and stuff, it's, it was always is kind of a gambling term. Like, you're with your buddies, you see a lock, you're like, hey boys, it was always this, it's that, that feeling when it's like, this is a lock. My intuition is telling me that this is a lock.
Graham reached out to Wingard on social media.
He responded, and we kind of got into conversation about the Jag. One day I just got the message that I've got cleats for you, and I couldn't believe it. He showed up at the bar and handed them to me, and I was about shaking.
When in Vegas, toss a bet on your team. You never know. But this year, it was always the Jags.
I don't know if I'd go as far as destiny, but we're here. It's being done.
Yeah, you heard Graham say, I don't know if it's destiny. I asked him, I was like, is this year just something that you could never have foreseen happening? Is it luck? And he said, luck? You kidding me? All these comebacks that the Jags have had? Just said it plain and simple, Chris. It was always the Jags.
In the realm of sports fandom, a distinct subset of enthusiasts emerges as the consummate collectors, amassing an astonishing array of merchandise and jerseys that transcend mere material possessions. These fanatic fans channel their unwavering passion into curating collections that encapsulate the very essence of their beloved teams. From vintage jerseys that harken back to historic victories to limited edition merchandise that serves as tangible tokens of allegiance, these collectors embrace each item as a sacred relic. With shelves adorned in a kaleidoscope of team colors and memorabilia, they transform their spaces into shrines dedicated to their sports heroes. Their fervent pursuit of these tangible connections speaks volumes about the depth of their dedication, turning each piece of merchandise into a chapter in the ongoing saga of their unyielding loyalty.
And you see people from different parts of the world, they show their appreciation, they show their dedication to their sports team, to a sports player. And all of this has a silver lining, and it has a connection to it. Anybody who's that dedicated to a team is a person who's willing to show and to give all of their strength on a certain thing. But if you didn't know, the Word of God shows us for us to delight in the Lord. And if we delight in Him, He's going to be able to open our paths and bless our ways. And you know how many people, they delight in their sports teams, yet in their ways, they're not happy? There are people who invest so much, yet they're not able to go forward in their lives. They're there for their team day in and day out. In the disappointments, in the highs, and in a lot of the lows, they're still there. Well, God, in the same exact way that you have highs and you have a lot of lows, He's still there. And that's why I want to make a prayer for you. For you who watch us right now in this moment, and you say, Pastor, right now I'm at my lowest. Right now I feel lost, I feel abandoned, and I feel lonely. I don't know where else to go. I don't know what else to do. Well, this program doesn't come to you as a coincidence, nor luck, but it's the power of God that wants to work inside of you. I want to show you this next story. When we come back, we're going to be praying in favor of all of you. I ask that you prepare a cup of water so that when we return, we make this prayer. Pay attention to this story. We'll be right back.
You've tried nearly everything. Now is the time to see how strong prayers work.
It started 2 years ago. I started having cramps in my stomach, and I thought it was just normal, female cramps. So I started taking over-the-counter medication, thinking that it was just maybe bloating, but it was not that. I had stomach pains, and they lasted for about 2 years. And the doctors did not know, they were not diagnosed. They could not diagnose my pain that I was having in my stomach. I had a gastric bypass. The pain was so bad that I wasn't able to get up in the mornings and walk around. I had to get up out of the bed, sit on the side of the bed. But before I could do that, I would have to take pain medication. Let the pain medication start working, then sit in my chair. I had a chair on the side of my bed, sit in the chair before I could get up and actually walk around. And I was taking a medication called Percocet. And, but that didn't even help me. The pain, it gave me a little relief so that I could get up. But it did not stop the pain. And then the doctors put me on another medication called Vyvanse. And then the Vyvanse gave me a little energy so that I could be able to walk around. None of it worked. The pain was still there. I couldn't bend over. I couldn't bend to the side. I was tired. All I wanted to do was sleep. But it had gotten so bad that I wasn't able to sleep. I was told that someone had done witchcraft against me. So it's a possibility that witchcraft had been done against me because it was not medical. My family was very concerned. They didn't know what was going on. For a moment, I told my family, I told them, I said, I don't know if I'm going to live or not because the pain was just that bad. So one day what happened, I was at a restaurant and I saw this lady I met this lady named Joyce, and I told her my story. And she told me about Universal Church. And she told me, I want you to, after you leave this restaurant, I want you to go to Universal Church. And I want you to go immediately and let the pastor pray for you. She said, I'm telling you, God will deliver you. I immediately went to the church. I talked to the pastor. I told him my problem. The pastor prayed for me. I started drinking the water 3 times a day, every day. And I was drinking it for a few months, not long. But then on a Friday night, the pastor prayed for me. He laid hands on me, and God delivered me immediately. Immediately. I didn't have any more pain. From when God delivered me that night, I was able to bend down, touch my toes. I could turn sideways. I could almost do a flip. I had been delivered and healed from one prayer at the Universal Church. It was a strong prayer. And the pastor did not know of my concern. He prayed for me, and God delivered me. And I would advise anyone on Friday nights at the Universal Church, it's deliverance night. Please attend any Universal Church on Friday nights for deliverance. For strong prayers, God will deliver.
Strong prayers work.
Darlene's life was able to change, and so can yours. And that's why we invite you for this prayer right now, but also for this Sunday. This Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning in our gathering of faith and miracles. We're located at 2420 Duffering Street. We're on the corner of Bowie Avenue and Duffering. You can take the 29 bus or the 929 bus. That's how our temple is looking. Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning in our special gathering of faith and miracles. I have the cup of water with me now. We're going to take a small pause, and when we come back, we're going to be praying in favor of all of you.
I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from my Lord, who made heaven and earth. He won't let my foot be moved. He who keeps me is the Lord, the one who keeps Israel. Will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is my keeper, He's the shade on my right hand.
Prepare a glass of water or get closer to your television screen. At this moment, we will have a special prayer to your name.
My God, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, we pray right now in favor of this person who accompanies us in this program, whether they hear us from their house, from wherever it is that our image comes, and they find themselves like their sports teams. They have high moments, but they have low moments. Moments where they just find themselves losing and losing. And maybe this person finds themselves broken, beaten, and at the bottom of the barrel. But you, my Lord, are the one who is only capable of delivering them, of setting them free from any evil, from any weight, from any type of fatigue that has been over their lives. And that's why we pray for this person who probably today they received the news that they're sick. They received news that they have an incurable disease. They received the news that there's no solution. We determine, my God, that they be healed. Set free this mom who worries about her children. This parent, my Father, who's having marital problems. We determine, my God, that they be received right now by you and strengthened. That this cup of water may not just be another common cup of water, no, but the rivers of living water that you promised. And when they drink of this, inside of them flows that life, flows that strength and that faith so that they can overcome. My God, that is how I give each and every single one of these people in your hands. And I bless them in Jesus' name. And if you believe, then you say amen. Amen. We're going to drink of this water. Drink of this water and believe that inside of you, the miracle is happening. We'll see you Sunday. Everyone, have a good night. God bless you.
Join thousands of people every Sunday at 10 a.m. in one faith. Based on this word, again, I say to you that if two of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. Matthew 18:19. Receive the 7 prayers.
I don't know how long I had that disease, but the way I found out is I had went to the doctor to have my annual physical. So they called me about the results and told me to get to the hospital because my sugar was so high that was threatening stroke. So I participated in drinking the blessed water. Faithfully, I did it every day. I just continued in my faith and coming to the church and fighting against it.
Deliverance.
I was a victim of witchcraft. My mother sacrificed me since I was young. I couldn't walk. I was paralyzed for a long time. I don't remember half of my life. I remember being in the hospital. It was King County Hospital. I remember that I had to learn how to walk. I had to learn how to write. I saw demons. People think that evil's not real. It is real. I went to a lot of churches, like 23 Christian church. And I never felt like I felt when I came to the Universal Church. But when I came to this ministry, from the very first time that I stepped through that door, I knew there was hope in this church.
Prosperity.
I had a business that was doing at one point rather well and went down substantially, and experienced just hard times trying to bring it up. I experienced also 3 deaths in my family. My mother, my father, my brother passed away. Then we had the recession, and I really never recovered from that. And it's still hard times, but since I've been coming to the church here, my business is starting to recoup. I see opportunities where my phone is ringing. I want this house built. I want this done. I want this. My business is starting to take off to another dimension.
Family.
I was about to separate with my husband, and during the time I was coming to church, I learned to forgive. And when I learned to forgive, I started working on my relationship with my husband. And when my husband never opened up to me, never told me what was going on with his life, until one day I got a knock on the front door, and it turned out to be the police. And I had to learn, okay, God, you are here. I learned through the church, through tribulations, you use your faith. And that's when I said, hey, that God is talking to me. This is a way I'm going to find a solution to my problem.
Love life.
My husband and I were very happy, loving. Everybody in the neighborhood know us and always want their relationship to be like our relationship. Our relationship was an example that people wants to follow. Until one day I found out that my husband had someone else. And that turned me into a bitter and an angry person. Me surrendering my life to the Lord, I got baptized, was filled with the Holy Spirit. Now I have no hate. I'm not angry. I want to even save other people. Try to counsel other people who are going through problems in their marriage.
Encounter with God.
The suffering in my life, it started with me just basically having pain all over my body. And my mom took me to the doctor. They could not figure out what was wrong with me. I started having headaches, and the headaches get worse. It would go like from maybe a day, 2 days, 3 days. Then I started to have stomach pain. My whole body was in pain, and I just felt like something, just like a brick drop on my head. And I had that headache. It was so bad, and I was sweating. I felt like I was gonna pass out. I wake up one Sunday morning and I'm coming to church, and I'm like, I'm not leaving the church today without giving my life to God. I'm gonna baptize today. And I came to church, service is finished, I got baptized, and I never looked back.
Temple of Miracles, 2420 Dufferin Street, Toronto. 2420 Dufferin Street, Toronto. And every university